It all started on May 25th, 1977, which is as good a date as anything for something really big to start, I suppose. Well, unless you're a geek such as myself, you probably don't recognize the significance of that date. You see, it was a Wednesday, a particular Wednesday in which arguably the most impressive film franchise in history premiered. That's right. It was on this date that fanboys and fangirls alike know as the beginning of Star Wars. It should go without saying that unless you have been living in a subterranean bunker for the past 43 years with only the basic necessities to keep you going, you should probably know about Star Wars. Since the first movie premiered to glowing reviews, this film franchise has taken the world by storm. To date, the franchise boasts 11 big screen films, countless comics and books, numerous video games, several made-for-TV movies, as well as kid-friendly TV shows, and some not-so-kid-friendly TV shows. It would be difficult to estimate the contribution that Star Wars has made to the popular culture of our time. Just look at how much money the world has spent on Star Wars as a franchise. And why not? The whole story of Star Wars, at its core, is one of evil overcoming good, good fighting back, and as if we would have it any other way, good triumphing over evil in the end. There's something about this theme that strikes at the very core of every human being. I don't think that there is anyone that would refute that fact. There is a very simple reason for that, though. Each one of us, by just being alive on this earth, is in the middle of a very real good versus evil conflict. The real Star Wars that is being played out in this world here today. And it all started before time was time, in a place that even the best writers of popular culture today wouldn't think to have put to paper. That's right, a place where goodness, perfection, and the purest of love resides. Heaven. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. And now there are some code words here that we need to identify. The dragon is clearly Satan, and Michael, a name that means who is like God, is identified as Jesus Christ before he became a human here on earth. Now, this dragon, or Satan, began this Star War in the most perfect place in the cosmos because of love. Now, I know what you're thinking. Love? Isn't that a good thing? Well, normally I would say yes, definitely. However, in the case of Satan, the love that caused the war was not love towards God or his fellow angelic beings or anything really, apart from love from himself. This is clear in the book of Isaiah, chapter 12, beginning in verse 14. How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the mount of assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zephon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. The words morning star that this verse refers to could also be translated as Lucifer in Latin, which is another name we have for Satan. Obviously, Satan had exhibited textbook narcissistic characteristics. He is so overwhelmed by his own ambitions, desires, and characteristics that he believes that he could become like the Most High God. Clearly, God is the only being that can be God, right? But that didn't stop Satan from trying to sway the inhabitants of heaven. In Ezekiel chapter 28, we have a snapshot of what Satan was doing before the war began. You were anointed as a guardian cherub, for so I ordained you. You were on the holy mount of God. You walked among the fiery stones. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created, till wickedness was found in you. Through your widespread trade, you were filled with violence, and you sinned. The original language indicates that the type of trading that Satan was involved with was not in merchandise, but rather was in rumors, gossip, and slander. Satan wanted to be God because he felt that the very principle that God ruled the universe with was impossible to uphold. True, unselfish, totally perfect love. So he waged war with God, who is by definition love. So I drove you in disgrace from the mount of God, and I expelled you, God writes, guardian cherub, from among the fiery stones. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. They would end up in Eden, when this same Satan, now disguised as the ancient serpent of Revelation, tricks Eve into believing that God's love cannot truly be a rule to live by, that her own reason, logic, and well-being could be in her hands, that she too could be like God. I'm sure that we can recognize the explosive result of that one decision when she took that fruit. Ever since that day, we have seen nothing but war on our planet. Death, destruction, anger, hostility, rioting, abuse, complete and total pain, all because of the real Star Wars, one in which we are still embroiled in today. Just like on the streets of heaven, in the Garden of Eden, and in every day that has passed since, every person has a choice. Love for God or love for self, love for Satan. The decision must be made. So what choice will you make? Who will you love?